The commitment to stop eating sugar is a keystone commitment. When that becomes a reality, other positive changes fall into place. Sugar is a health, weight, and well-being destroyer. Let's make 2024 the year you get rid of it, and do so comfortably. We are living in a time when there are a few limitations to learning, but for that learning to be meaningful, there must be action. For instance, you can take a class on how to sail a boat and get an A+ on the final exam, but if you find yourself out on a boat the next day and you can't figure out how to move it away from the dock, where's the value? As with many things in life, the only real teacher is action. And when it comes to improving your health and weight, it is hard to find an action that parallels giving up sugar. Giving up sugar is a keystone commitment that has a ripple effect throughout your life. You know, so often when we want to improve our health, lose weight, or improve how we feel, we go after everything. It may be true that multiple areas of your life need attention, from your exercise habits to sleep, diet, lifestyle, the whole lot. But where that tends to take us is straight down the path of overwhelm. The solution is to focus on one change that is challenging and takes focus, but it's only one thing. Make that one thing this. No matter what, for the next 30 days, I will not eat or drink anything that has sugar listed as one of the top 3 ingredients. That's it. That's your commitment, and that is what you act on. The reason that adhering to going sugar-free for 30 days works is because it is a keystone commitment. In psychology research, it's referred to as a keystone habit and defined as a habit that, when changed, produces a ripple effect that causes other patterns to change as well. Get sugar out of your diet, and it will lead to a cascade of other actions that raise your baseline of health without force or need for willpower. This is the first step in my new book, Zero Sugar 1 Month, that is out today, January 2nd, 2024. When you follow it, you create for yourself this keystone commitment to quit sugar for 30 days. And if I can ask, please pause the video right now and go to Amazon and order the book. With books, the first day sales are critical for moving it up onto Amazon's bestseller list so others can find it. You can go straight to Amazon or click on the link in the description area or the more area below this video. And I'm extending the pre-order gifts for today only. If you buy today, you can go to my website and get my exclusive low-carb comfort food recipe collection with 6 fabulous no sugar added recipes that are not available anywhere else. I'll leave the details in the description or more area below this video. The book sets your commitment and then helps you disrupt habit patterns that subconsciously pull you back to your old ways. Let me give you examples of how this is done so that whether you buy the book or not, you have the tools to get the results. We live in a sugar-coated world. You can't control the world, but you can set up your living spaces so tempting cues are out of sight and out of mind. When you are stressed, you want comfort and you want it now. In those moments, emotions take over, good judgment flies out the window, and all you want to do is escape into something familiar and comforting, like refined foods. How do you handle these out-of-control moments? You be prepared. If you have the wrong foods in easy-to-grab places, you reduce your sugar-free commitment to willpower. Willpower is destroyed by stress. It's unreliable, so make it easy to uphold your commitment tomorrow by creating temptation-free zones today. Ask yourself this: are your living spaces working for or against your sugar-free goal? There's a full checklist in the book that you can go through and score how well your living spaces are working for you. But to start, look around your kitchen. Is there a bag of chips, cookies, or other refined foods visible? When you open your refrigerator, what are the first foods you see? Are the easy-to-grab items hunger-satisfying low-carb foods like hard-boiled eggs or pre-sliced cheese? Or are they sweetened sodas and treats? Do a similar inventory of your freezer, your office, and your living room. By having sweets and refined carbs in plain sight and readily available, you've unknowingly handed yourself over to your unwanted habits. Habits form when we repeatedly respond to cues in our environment looking for a reward. So for a habit to happen, all 3 parts of the habit loop must be allowed: a cue, followed by a response, and a reward. Once a habit is established, you carry it out automatically, whether it is beneficial or harmful. If you're in the habit of using sugar or refined foods as a stress reliever, then when stress hits, you'll turn to it. If it's not around, you break the habit loop because you removed the response. The cue, stress, didn't change, your response did, and the habit loop was broken. Getting sugar out of sight and out of reach helps you tackle the mental pull of sugar, but there's also a physical pull. Humans have been hardwired from our primitive days to eat when food is available. So the mere act of eating, even a small bite of food, makes you want to keep eating. When it comes to eating sugar, this drive to keep eating once you start is enhanced by emotional and physiological factors that make it even harder to control. All of that can feel pretty heavy, which leads to compromised thinking. For example, it's easy to tell yourself that a little bite won't hurt, or if I eat this, it's not really cheating. No, you don't want to go there. Instead, cut off wayward thoughts before they can impact your actions by reminding yourself that none is easier than some. The reason this 5-word mantra, none is easier than some, works is because it short-circuits the physical drive to overeat. In other words, the easiest way to stay sugar-free is to eat none because some stimulates your appetite and triggers cravings. That is not to say that the desire to eat should always be ignored. In fact, you want to make it easy to nourish your body. So, for step 4, you want to put together a hunger survival pack and give yourself permission to eat when you're hungry. Remember that avoiding sugar is your keystone commitment. When you fully commit to that, other positive habits naturally flow from it. Put another way, other positive habits are allowed into your life without force because of this keystone commitment. That is likely an opposite approach from what you're used to taking. For many of us, health and weight become a priority when there is a trigger. So something happens and you say to yourself, enough is enough, it's time to change. That is an empowering state to be in, but it often pushes us into forcing rather than allowing change. For example, weight loss is one of the most common outcomes that comes from avoiding sugar. As you progress on this sugar-free path, that weight loss becomes its own motivation. But instead of allowing weight loss to happen as a natural result of changing this keystone habit, we try to force more change. One way we force weight loss is by drastically reducing the amount that we eat. The challenge to that is if you push your body too hard, it will push back, and it has some powerful weapons, including cravings, hunger, and fatigue. Instead of forcing change, allow change to happen by giving your body what it needs to succeed. So, step 4 is a fun one. You want to create a hunger survival pack, and when you're hungry, eat. Your survival pack will contain easy-to-grab foods that stop hunger in its tracks because they're low in carbs as well as high in fat, and they contain protein. This combination stabilizes blood sugar, preventing blood sugar crashes that drive cravings. Take time today to gather convenient, hunger-satisfying foods. You can put these items on a shelf in your refrigerator. Ideas include deviled eggs, leftover chicken strips, pre-cooked shrimp, veggies with dip, and yogurt with fresh or frozen berries. If you travel during the day, make a travel pack by placing shelf-stable foods such as a packet of almond butter, raw nuts, and beef sticks into a portable bag. Then, when hunger hits, eat. The reason this works is because it puts you in a position of working with your body, not against it. Simply put, give your body what it needs today, and it will give you what you want tomorrow. These 4 steps are the first 4 daily guides in my new book, Zero Sugar, 1 Month. To make change that has a lasting impact on your health, weight, and well-being, there's no better keystone habit to choose than avoiding sugar. The book is laid out to help you make that commitment and stay engaged with fun stories and daily small wins that build your motivation and belief. When you follow that structure for 30 days, your body and brain allow new beneficial habits to become part of your comfortable daily routine. You know, it's one thing to be taught why sugar is so detrimental. It is quite another to reach a point of calm indifference about it, where you can be surrounded by multiple eating cues filling all of your senses, yet not feel compelled to overeat, and instead feel in complete control of your actions. I hope this video gets you started on a great path. My book, Zero Sugar 1 Month, is now available. Please pick up a copy. You can go straight to Amazon and search for the book, or click on the link in the description or more area below this video. And if you buy it today, January 2nd, 2024, you can follow the instructions in the description to get my free low-carb comfort food recipe collection. Thank you so much for your support. I can't wait to get this into your hands. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.